Right, ladies and gentlemen, the time is now 11:30. So any members of the public that have come into the paddock to have a look around, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave in the next minute or so and make your way back to the public viewing area. So any members of the public that have come in to have a look around, can you please make your way back to the public viewing area in the next minute or so? If you've only just managed to get in, all things being equal, we should have another break this afternoon. So the setup, race-wise, we have a block of 8 races coming up that starts at 11:45. Then we'll have a break, and then a second block of racing after that, which if the programme shows 2:20, but that is obviously dependent on what happens in that first block of racing. So final call for any members of the public that are in the paddock area. Can you please now make your way back to the public viewing area? The craft will be coming out onto the grid at 11:35. So in 2 minutes' time, the craft will be coming out onto the grid to form up for the first race. Well, that's our siren going up in the paddock. So we're now 10 minutes away from the start of this first race. So if you've just come in recently, what I'll be doing is, as each formula comes onto the grid, I will give you a brief overview of what that formula is about. The grid is actually the furthest point from where you are as spectators, but they'll run down the hill and drop onto the lake right in front of you. So you've actually got a better view of the action as they drop onto the water, and there was a lot yesterday. You've actually got a better view than I have. So it's a clockwise course. As they drop onto the water, they'll go over to the far side of the lake there, round the back of the island, and then come back up onto the land. All the formulas will be doing 8 laps, apart from the Colts. They're aged 10 to 13. They'll only be doing 6. So our first race up today is the Formula 50. So Formula 50, originally designed around the Rotax 503 engine, twin cylinder, 50 horsepower. The important thing is they have to use it in its standard format. So pretty much as it comes out of the box. So there's no tuning of the engine permitted. So no special carburetors, no special exhaust. So in theory, they're on a level playing field. The hull design is entirely up to them. There is a weight limit that they have to conform with. And they're only allowed to use the one engine to power one fan, which that fan provides both lift and thrust. Right, so our grid is starting to form up now. I think it's a 4-3-4 formation. So the grid positions are set from the points accumulated from yesterday. So they'll, as they roll on today, that's will set their position for the second block of racing later on. So this is the final day of our championships, and I believe there's still, in all the formulas, possibilities of the top 3 places to change. So in pole position, just dropping in there, number 81, Nick Drew. Just waiting for second spot now. I think that's going to be Adam Turnbull in 101. So following on through the rest of the grid, in third spot is number 50, Richard Worthington. And completing the front row is 111, and that is Hannah Deacon's time. There's team airbags, pink and white craft. You'll find that if you're trying to get to grips with craft and who the driver is, just bear in mind that there are teams, and so there will be drivers during a race, but from to another. Second row, we got Jake Trussler in 110, and then Nathan Collins in number 91, That's row 2 complete, and then we got Sarah Gill on 106. Number 72 just coming out onto the grid very shortly. So 72 just dropping onto the grid there in second row. So that's 72 Kian Olner. And, well, the front row is now complete. 101, Adam Turnbull. And I think we may be coming up to the 2-minute board very shortly. So they'll go through a sequence. They get the 2-minute board, 1-minute board. At the 1-minute board, the marshals go through the grid to make sure that they've got their crash helmets all strapped up nicely. Life jackets obviously on. But more importantly, that the drivers have their lanyard attached. Now, the lanyard is a cord, quite often a coil cord so it can stretch, that will go from their body, usually the wrist, and it will go down to a switch. That switch, if it's pulled, it might be 1 or 2 switches, depending on the number of engines. And if the driver ever comes out of the craft, that switch gets pulled and the craft automatically stops. So we did have that a few times yesterday, and probably over in the spectator area, that's your prime view for seeing that happen. Right, I'm not quite sure why, but the drivers will pull together just now by the race director, so see if I can find out what that was all about. Right, 1 minute board has gone up, so the lights will be going on fairly soon. So the start of each race is going to go through a light sequence to start the race. Here we go, the lights are going through that sequence now, and we're away. And it's 81 Nick Drew off first, then 101, but 50 is alongside. Then 111, 110, 72, 106, 91, 51. So coming through the chicane just before the finish line, it's 81 Nick Drew leading, being chased by 101 Adam Turnbull, then Richard Worthington number 50, then 110 Jake Trussler. Then we've got a bit of a gap, and that's been because 111 Hannah Deacon has stopped in the chicane section. So the next one through is 91 Nathan Collins, 72 Kian Olner, 51 Georgia Olner, then 106 Sarah Gill. So at the moment 111 Hannah Deacon is out. I'm not quite sure why. It looks like it might be a skirt issue. I've just been told she actually came out the craft, so whether there was contact with another craft, I'm not sure. But that was in the relatively slow section in the chicane. So she feeds back into the traffic, but she's now a lap down. So we got, I think, 2 four-way battles going on. The one for the lead, but then the tail end group. It's still Nick Drew, 81, coming into this chicane section. And cross the line, he goes through in first. He's still not managed to shake off Adam Turnbull in 101. 50, Richard Worthington still there, and 110. Jake Trussler just dropping back very slightly, but still very much in touch. Then we've got quite a long gap now to Kian Olner, 72. Now Kian's going through the chicane section. He's lost a couple of segments in that rear right corner, so that will not be helping him. Then it's Nathan Collins, 91, 106, Sarah Gill. We seem to be missing 51 Georgia Olner somewhere on track. I see her. Yes, come out the lake and halfway up the hill just for the chicane section, the craft to stop. Well, that's skirt damage on 72. Kian Olner is not getting any better. In fact, I think it's getting worse, so he'll be feeling all the bumps on the land section. 91 and 106. Battling there as they drop onto the water now. So that's a position further down the field. And they're about to be approached by the lead 3 craft. So they're going to, although they're locked in their own battle, they're going to have to watch out because those first 3 craft are coming through now. Looks like Nick Drew's managed to get onto the land first. Our leader. Yeah, there we go. He's managed to open up the gap a little bit, but Adam Turnbull's now got through the back markers, and Richard Worthington trying to make his way through as he comes through the chicane section. So that is now 6 laps completed, 2 laps to go. So it looks as though, unless something happens, it's going to be a straight 2-way battle for the finish of the race, unless Richard Worthington, number 50, the all-black craft there, can make up some ground. Looks like it might be the 2 front runners, 81 and 50, that are going to come through first at the end of this race. Right, last lap board is now up. Our leader goes through. 81 Nick Drew. 101 Adam Turnbull. Still very much within striking distance, but not enough at the moment to make a challenge. And I can't see there being enough traffic in front of them to actually make any difference, but who knows. Here we go into the last chicane section. And it is going to be number 81, Nick Drew, that takes the win. 101, Adam Turnbull comes through in second. Third across the line now is Richard Worthington, number 50. Still waiting for fourth. And that is going to be Jake Trussler just coming through the chicane section now. Oh, he's lost some skirt segments on that right-hand side as well. So 110, Jake Trussler comes through in, where we go? I've lost it. 4th place. 5th goes to 72, Kean Olner. 6th goes to 106, Sarah Gill. 7th goes to Nathan Collins in 91. 8th goes to 111, Hannah Deacon, who's just crossed the line now. So next up are the Formula 3s and the Formula 35s. We're a bit thin on the ground in these 2 particular formulas. So Formula 3 is up to 250cc 2-stroke, 500cc 4-stroke. I think they're all 2-strokes. We've just got the 2 craft there. And they're both running a single engine, single fan. That can be a different combination. They are allowed to use 2 fans. So you have the 1 engine driving the thrust fan, but then a drive shaft going underneath the seat to drive a lift fan at the front. We went through a phase of that being very popular, but it's now gone back to single engine, single fan. And then the Formula 35s, they're running industrial four-stroke engines, and they're air-cooled, and they're only allowed to use a maximum of 35 horsepower, and that 35 horsepower is the total of all the onboard engines. So it tends to be something like 5 horsepower for lift and then the rest for thrust. They are restricted in the thrust fan as well on the RPM of that. Right, I've just noticed that there's a hold for the start of this race. I think there'll only be one F35 out there. That'll be Zoe Deacon. This particular formula was designed originally to be able to have a craft that was able to race and cruise as well. So whilst we're waiting for this hold, I'm not. Oh, they're putting the chicane section back together again after it was. Well, I won't say demolished, but it was needed some TLC after that last race. So don't forget, if you do go away from today and you want to find out some more information about the club, the racing, I mean, if you're thinking that racing is new, no. That you need to go back to the 1970s when it first started. In fact, the club as a whole, 1966. I joined in 1967, so yes, I'm old. Now, the club website, if you want to get involved in the racing, actually racing a craft, or getting involved on the official side of things, so that could be marshalling, etc. The club website is at www.hovercraft.org.uk. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And the handle for all three of those is at official HCGB. Right, we've gone on to the 2-minute board. Unfortunately, we just got the 2 craft on the grid. The Formula 35 doesn't look as though it's coming out. So just 2 F3s. We do have more F3s listed for this category, but for whatever reason, they're not here this weekend. Right, we're on the light sequence now. Here we go. So if it goes true to form, then it should be Dan Turnbull. Oh, no. There we go. Change of places. So Richard Pound has taken the lead for the moment, but I suspect Dan Turnbull in 168 will make the move. And in fact, Richard Pound made a mistake as he went round the island and swung wide. So that's allowed Dan, I think, to come through and take the lead. Well, Richard Pound still holding on to that lead, 144. Dan Turnbull in 168, dropping in behind. He's got the speed to take the lead, probably just waiting for the right moment. Well, almost coming out of the land, up onto the land side by side, not quite. that lead craft 144. He normally races as a team with his son, but not quite sure why his son Harry hasn't been racing the last few races. Maybe school's got in the way. Or college, or uni even. Well, there we go. Dan Turnbull's made the move and comes through in the lead now. He'll probably sprint and pull away from Richard. And 3 laps gone. So our next Formula already starting to form up onto the grid. That's Formula 2. There'll be more takers for this, and the obviously the speed will now go up. Well, Dan Turnbull, the lead craft here. If you've watched the racing before from years gone by, you'll know that Dan used to be F1, but has dropped back down the formulas and is now racing as in teams with his son and his daughter. So you will hear the name Turnbull several times and in different formulas. Now, quite a few of the craft will actually, the drivers will be running as teams. Not all, but quite a few will run as teams. And that could be any combination of team members. It's usually only 2. That could be friends, and that's a good way of sharing costs of racing. It could be husband, wife, daughters, mothers. Oh, any combination you like. It's probably we've probably got it. So last lap borders now have gone out. 1 lap to go. Well, as soon as they cross the line, I'm going to take a wander down to the grid and make sure I can see who's there. So an easy win in the end for Dan Turnbull, number 168. And Richard Pound coming through in second. So, Formula 2. We're talking up to 600cc two-stroke, 750cc four-stroke. Predominantly it's two-stroke on the grid, but there is a four-stroke out there, and that craft is in pole position. Now that lead craft is running one engine, but it's driving two fans. It's quite a technical setup, which is taking Peter a long time to get to grips with and get it reliable. So a pole sitter, number 89, Peter Symes-Thompson, in the only four-stroke. Alongside, it's 82, Cy Francis, then 55, Simon Oakley. Don't needs to be a bit cautious in this race. His wife was out in the open race yesterday and was involved in quite a nasty crash. So there was a lot of damage, and it was a surprise to see they've actually managed to get it back together again. So for Simon, I think it's a case of just picking up points today. So that's third spot. Facing the front row, 66, Phil Tassel. Then on row 2, we got 31, Adam Turnbull. So you've just seen his dad out. Alongside is Dave Palfrey, 61. You'll see his daughter out later in the open race, Katrina. And then completing row 2, 77, George Barnes. Watch out for him. Get through to the front grid ASAP. Row 52, Aaron Sutton. So the majority running a twin engine setup. Two of them opt in for a single engine, single fan. So we're on the 2-minute board now. And we're on the 1-minute board now. So here we go, coming up to the lights very soon now. It could get very busy as they drop onto the water. That's where we had a number of incidents yesterday on that first lap. Here we go, we're on the lights. And we are away. And it is 89 that's off first, 66 in second, third, 55, 40, 82. That could change as they drop onto the water. Then 77, 31, 61, 52. Oh, Dave Palfrey catching some air there from the crash in front. Got the front end up, brought it back down. So George Barnes has worked his way through already. I'll pick them up as they come up the hill. So it's 89 leading, 66 in second. Third is 55, fourth is George Barnes, 77. So Peter Symes-Thompson leading, Phil Tassel in second. Third is Simon Oakley, fourth is 77 George Barnes, then Cy Francis 82, 31 Adam Palfrey, 52 Aaron Sutton. Oh, he's lost his thrust engine as he went through the chicane section, so that leaves Dave Palfrey 61 to go through. So Aaron Sutton 52. The thrust engine died just as he went through the chicane section, so he's currently out of the race. Well, leader now starting to open up the gap a bit now. He's got a small bit of skirt damage on that right-hand side. He was suffering with that yesterday. So here they come. 66, 55, 77, 82. Almost nose to tail as they went through the line. And then 31, Adam Turnbull trying to keep in touch. And Simon Oakley has gone through and passed Phil Tattersall, 66. Simon told me he was going to take it easy in this race. I'm not sure quite what happened there. I think he's put his crash helmet on. All that idea went out the window. So, the leader comes through. Peter Thompson, 89. Now pulling more of a gap. Here comes the battle into the chicane section. It's 55, 66, 77, 82. And then 31 closing up. Adam Turnbull. So we've got a five-way, certainly a four-way, maybe a five-way if Adam can catch up that group. Battle going on there. Meanwhile, our leader, away and clear, coming through into the chicane section to run through the line. And that will be 4 laps completed. So we've reached the midpoint of the race now. Simon Oakley. Oh, there's been a change of places. They came round the back of the island and up onto the land. So Simon Oakley is in second. Third is now Simon Francis in 82. Then Phil Tattersall, 66. And then George Barnes, 77. And he's lost his thrust engine right in front of me. And 61 Dave Palfrey just coming through. A long way back now. So George Barnes out of the race. The thrust engine, it's been dogging him all weekend. Great pace when it's running, but reliability has been his big problem. So, back to this group of 3 now. It's still Simon Oakley, 55. 82, Cy Francis. And then 66, Phil Tattersall. That group of 3 locked in that 3-way battle there. Adam Turnbull, 31, not being able to match the pace with that single engine, single fan. So he's dropping back now. But still in 5th, I think. Right, that 3-way battle, that's what I'm focusing on at the moment. The last lap board is being prepared for our leader. Simon Oakley, 55, still trying to fend off Cy Francis in 82. Phil Tattersall, 66, dropping back very slightly at the moment now. Oh, Cy Francis tried to make a move, but he's swung wide. Simon Oakley is still holding on to that 2nd spot. But Phil Tattersall may have moved up in the 3rd. I guess to wait and see when they come up the hill. So, yeah, our leader's gone through. Last lap board is 55, 82, and 66 still. Well, as they pop out from behind the island there, they've all hugged it nice and tight, so no change of places for that 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Meanwhile, our leader comes through the chicane section. Peter Thompson, number 89, the big 4-stroke, takes the win. And coming in to that chicane section now to cross the line. 2nd spot goes to Simon Oakley. 3rd goes past to 82, Cy Francis. Then 4th to 66, Phil Tattersall. And then coming through in Fifth spot, 31, Adam Palfrey. Sixth will go to 61. Sorry, 31 will go to Adam Turnbull. And sixth will go to 61, Dave Palfrey. So as the F2s peel off back into the paddock, the next group is already forming up on the grid. So we're dropping the pace a little bit, but not necessarily the excitement. So we're now going to our juniors. So they're aged 13 to 16 years of age. Pole sitter for this race and leading the championship is 43, Josh Morales. In second spot, another Josh this time, 48. Third spot, 155, Ollie Brand. And then completing in the front row, 95, Charlie Clark. An all-boy lockout on the front row, which is unusual. It tends to be a mix, but there we go. So the number 1 craft, Serena Hackett on the second row, 45, Charlie Moore, and then 53, completing row 2, Oscar Lewington. On row 3, we've got one. 151, Amy O'Callaghan. She's moved up from the Colts to the juniors. Colts, different age groups. They're 10 to 13. Right, we are on the 2-minute board. So the juniors doing 8 laps, same as the adults. The only ones doing any different number of laps will be the Colts. They only do 6. So now being shown the 1-minute board. Here we go, we're on the lights. And they're away. Well, it's a 3-way, but it is going to be 43, I think, but 155, Ollie Brand. So it is 43, 155, 48 as they go into the back of the island. Here we go, 43, Josh Morales already starting to pull a bit of a lead. Ollie Brown 155 in second, Josh Trussler 48. Still in contention then, we got Charlie Clark 95, 53 Oscar Lewingdon, 10 Serena Hackett as they come through the chicane section, then 45 Charlie Moore. And then 151 Amy O'Callaghan, who's just come out of Colts, so we're not expecting too much from her. Well, leader round the back of the island there. 43 is really pulling away now from second spot. Josh Trussler, who's just gone past you in the spectator area. But still in touch is Ollie Brand, 155. So Josh has got to keep it clean. Any mistakes, and Ollie will be there to take advantage of it. And 10, Serena Hackett crosses the line, and she's looking back. So obviously not comfortable with the way that thrust engine is running by the looks of it. So 151 gets passed by the leader. She goes a lap down now. So 43 away and clear now, drops onto the water. Still Josh Trussler 48 in second. 155 Ollie Brand in third. That's 3 laps gone. Oh, and Charlie Moore's got his hand up as he crosses the line. He's lost 2 segments on the left-hand side, but that shouldn't be the issue. So Charlie Moore, 45, returns back to the paddock for the moment. Well, there's confidence for you. Ollie Brand goes past and gives a bit of a wave to his dad. I must say he's in a reasonably comfortable third place, but even so. So 5 laps completed. The leader round the back of the island there. He's now half a lap up on second place. Josh Trussler, who's just gone through the line, number 48, but still very much in touch. He's 155 Ollie Brand. So as the leader goes through, that is now 6 laps completed. 2 laps to go. Well, Josh Trussler in second spot, number 48. Now opening up the gap to third place, Ollie Brand, 155. So as our leader comes through the chicane section in amongst the traffic, the back markers, the last lap board is now waiting for him, so 1 lap to go now. Here we go. 43. Josh Morales takes the win. Very comfortable win in the end. Josh Trussler, 48, takes second. Ollie Brand just gone through the line in 155, takes third. Just waiting for the others to come through now. So Charlie Clark, 95, takes fourth. Fifth goes to 53, Oscar Lewington. Sixth goes to Serena Hackett, number 10. Seventh goes to 151, Amy O'Callaghan. And then eighth, Charlie Moore, who pulled back into the paddock, number 45. Right, so next up are the Formula Ones. So next up, we're looking at Formula One. So forget the CC bit, we're now talking pure grunt, and that's horsepower. So basically anything goes. The general, well, the choice for this particular formula is 2 strokes rather than 4. And we're looking at a thrust engine of somewhere in the order of 180 to 220 horsepower, and then a lift engine as well. They'll top out at around about 80 mile an hour, probably not on this course, but they're 0 to 60, they will out-accelerate most standard road cars. So that just gives you an idea as they go off the line. So a pole sitter, number 1, Callum Beale. Second spot is Kevin Eastwood, number 12. Third spot is Simon Lark. So watch out for number 22, Damien Rhodes on the second row. He'll be trying to look to salvage some points, having dropped a race yesterday with engine blue. We're on the lights, here we go. And it's Kevin Eastwood off first in number 12. Then 1, 4, 8, 22 and 11 as they leave the grid. Oh, Kevin Eastwood swinging worldwide. That's allowed for Simon Larman to sneak through in second spot. Callum Beale comes round the island, rear end up in the air. He's pushing it hard. So, Callum Beale, number 1. Oh, this side, oh, he's got the back end up there. Just he came through the chicane section. Simon Larman, number 4 in second. Third is now Damien Rose, 22. And Damien sneaks through past Simon Larman. So Damien Rhodes, 22 now, is trying to hunt down the leader. Fourth is Kevin Eastwood in number 12. And then we got Mike King, number 8. And then Rob Heisman, 11. So I'm now looking at the gap between number 1 and 22 to see if Damien Rhodes in that 22 craft, the red craft, can close down the gap to the lead. On the first race yesterday, Damien was leading for 95% of the race, and then on the last half lap, Callum managed to get past and he took the race win away from him. The gap is staying about the same. But our leader is now coming into the traffic. Rob Heisman is going to be the first one picked off. This way. Well, further down the field, number 12. Kevin Eastwood and 4 Simon Larman, they're locked in their own battle. So the gap between lead craft number 1 and Damien Rhodes. Well, Damien's not been able to close that gap down. In fact, it's increasing. Well, Mike Kim moving to one side to let Damien go through. The last lap board is being prepared for our leader. There we go. Last lap board is now out. 1 lap to go now. Callum Beale, number 1. The leader is increasing that gap to 22. Damien Rhodes is still pushing hard, but he can't close that gap down. I can see a waved yellow on the other side of the lake from me just before they go into the back of the island. So I'm just trying to work out who that craft is. So number 1, Callum Beale, comes through and takes an easy win in the end. So then Damien Rhodes, number 12, comes through. Sorry, not 12, 22, takes second. We've lost number 12, Kevin Eastwood. Yeah, so it's number 12 that they're waving the flags for on the lake section. So, after second spot, third goes to number 4, Simon Larman. Fourth goes to number 8, Mike King. Then 12, is in 5th, Kevin Eastwood, and then 6th goes to Rob Heisman, number 11. Right, we're going to be dropping the pace down now to our Colts. So the Colts, they are aged 10 to 13. They are restricted in what they can run, same as juniors, but the Colts are restricted even more. And this is really not about the size of the engine, although they are restricted in the engines, but there is no good putting a tuned engine in because you're actually restricted by the amount of thrust you can actually produce. So some of them will have a reduction device in the front of the fan. Lily Elston, number 44, is one of them. She's got a red half moon in front of the duct, and that just interrupts the airflow enough to bring her down within this thrust limit. So our pole sitter for this race, 55, Ben Lambert. Second spot, Nathan Nash, number 147. Then we got Lily Elston, 44. And then completing the front row, number 9, Kerris Rhodes. Second row, 67, Nancy Devlin. Then we've got a gap. Then 153 is Emily Lewandon. So Emily Lewandon there completes the front second row. 3, we got 30, Mia Barlow. Then 75, Harley Allman. And then we got 154, Thomas Bill, completing the last row there, row 3. So we're dropping the pace, but not necessarily the excitement. So just a reminder, 6 laps for this race. Sounds as if there's some course construction work being done. Right, just heard over the radio, we're going to go on to 2 and hold. So drivers will be shown a 2-minute board, as per normal, at the beginning of each race, but they're being shown a board with a H on it, and that means hold. So that's done for a technical reason, in that the 2-minute board has officially gone up, and that means anybody that arrives on the grid after the 2-minute board forfeits their grid position and they have to go to the back of the grid. So that now is in place, and I think we pretty much got a full grid anyway, so I think that's unlikely to affect anybody. But they're doing some work on the course at the moment, so once that's sorted, we'll go back onto the 2-minute board. So just a reminder, if you do go away from today and you want to find out some more about the sport as a whole, because there's not just the racing side, there's the cruising side of the world as well, although we're pretty much in the middle of the country, so a lot of the cruising tends to happen down the southeast, south coast, and Liverpool area. But there are craft specifically designed for that. They tend to be not racing craft, so they're designed to run in rougher waters, and so slightly different specification. So yeah, www.hovercraft.org.uk, that's the place to find out more information. There's different ways if you want to get involved in racing, don't actually want to race yourself. We've got a whole team of marshals out there here, so they're all the ones dressed in orange. They come from all over the country to marshal this event, and we're always looking for new people. The orange gear they're wearing is supplied by the club. The majority of the marshals will be wearing radios, and that's again supplied by the club. And obviously, throughout the year we have different ranges of weather, shall we say, so we can provide for both of those. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and the handle for all three of those is @official HCGB. One minute away from the start now. Here we go, we're on the lights. Hammer away. Oh, and Kerris Rhodes gets off to a good start in number 9. Oh, bit of bumping there between her and 147 Nathan Nash, but they've pulled apart. But it is 55. Ben Lambert that drops onto the water first. 147.44, I think, in third. Oh, 147 Nathan Nash has swung well wide. So Lily Elson moves up in the second spot. Then Kerris Rhodes in third with number 9. Then 147. Then I think that was 154. And I've lost them now, so we'll pick them up as they come through. Well, the first 4 coming through fairly close. It's 55, Ben Lambert goes through first, then 44, Lily Elson, then 9, Kerris Rhodes, then 147, Nathan Ash, then 154, Thomas Cowgill, then 67, Nancy Devlin. And still coming through the tail ends 153. Emily Lewandon just crossing the line now. And we still got number 30 just going through the chicane section. Mia Barlow. She's about to be passed by the lead craft. And she goes a lap down, the leader comes through. Ben Lambert, 55. Well, Kerris Rhodes, number 9, has got Nathan Ash, 147, who was one of the early leaders. Dropped back down to 4th. He's now trying to regain a place there. Oh, I see a yellow flag for something that's down on the, looks as though something's happened on the drop onto the water, just out of sight of my position. Mm-hmm. That's 3 laps gone, midpoint in the race now. 55, still leading. 44, Lily Elson is second. Third is now Nathan Ash. He's got up in the third, see if he can chase down Lily and battle for that second spot. Courage drops to fourth in number 9. And I saw a splash as 147. Oh, Nathan Ash he's having real problems with that drop onto the water. He's lost the place to Keris again. So Nathan Ash goes back down into fourth place in number 147. So that drop onto the water, it has been catching a lot of the craft out this weekend. Well, I don't know what's happened there, but our new leader is Lily Elson, 44. Ben Lambert is dropping down the field. He's got into the chicane section and don't know why. He's got skirt segment damage. So our second spot now is Keris Rhodes, number 9. Then Nathan Ash, 147 is third. Ben, oh dear, what's happened? He had a pretty good lead and he's now stuck in the chicane section. He's trying to get the engine fired up. So fourth spot now is 154, Thomas Cowgill, then Nancy Devlin, 67. Oh, 75 now has stopped in that chicane section. 75, that is Harley Allman. Last lap board's gone out, so Lily Elson, 44, goes through. She's got a reasonable lead now. She just needs to keep it clean on this last lap. Number 9, Keris Rhodes in second. She's got Nathan trying to catch her again. Really, that drop onto the water has been Nathan's downfall. Gets it clean this time, and he's actually closing the gap down on Keris as they go round the back of the island. We seem to have lost 153 somewhere. Emily Lewandon. You may hear a big cheer in a moment. I've got lots of supporters here, Mum being one of them. So Lily Elson takes the win, number 44. And Keris Rhodes, number 9, has held on to that second spot. Nathan Ash, 147, takes third. Still waiting for the rest to come through. So coming through in fourth is Nancy Devlin, 67. She's just crossed the line. Then 154. Thomas Cowgill comes through in fifth. Sixth will go to 55, Ben Lambert, who's stopped and is going back on the trailer. And then 30 in seventh spot, Maya Barlow. Well, there you go. I told you the pace might have dropped, but the excitement was still there with our Colts. Well, the Colts is a relatively new subdivision of the juniors. It was introduced at the beginning of this year, so it's been proved to be very popular. but many of our top drivers, both in the UK and around the world, started off in juniors and come through to be world champions in the various formulas. So we're now going into the novices. Now, because we're at the end of the season now, a lot of our novices have qualified up, so we've only got the 2 on the grid. One of them only started at the last event. He got talked to into it on the Saturday night at the bar, as you do. So our pole sitter is Rob Alker in number 78. He's been a regular cruiser for the last few years now. His wife has been racing in Formula 50, but she came out, she started in novices, came out of novices into Formula 50, and she convinced her husband to give it a try at the last race meeting. And as they say, the rest is history. So now he's been bitten by the racing bug as well. So Rob Alker in number 78 in pole. And then 107, Mike Chiverton is there in second spot. Mike actually joined the club a few years ago now at one of our events down by Fawley there. He came along to watch, and he had a certain skill set, which was handling boats, and got involved on the marshalling side of the rescue team there. And has now progressed on to actually racing. So there we go. So if you're down there watching, if you do want to get involved in any form, then we're always looking for new members to help with our marshalling, our scrutineers. All the craft are scrutineered at the beginning of the weekend. And we've got our lap scorers, of course. There's a mix of computer skills, but also just straightforward writing numbers on a sheet in a lap chart. And then, of course, we've got the marshals. And, of course, this event itself has been put on by the Chilterns branch. So we've got branches all over the country. This one's being held by the Chilterns branch. So we've come along and set this meeting up. Put the course up. That'll get taken down tonight before we leave. That's going to be a bit of a tall order with the dark evenings coming in very quickly now. But that'll get taken down. So even if you want to come in at branch level and just get involved in this sort of organisation of your local event, we're always looking people for that. For those of you, I know some of you yesterday will have seen us a few years ago now at Claydon House, and more recently at Toaster Racecourse, just up the road. And for us, this is the second time we've been here this season. We've returned after probably about 10 years. And so we're hoping now that this will be a regular venue on our calendar. So for those of you who may think, this must be a new sport. We haven't seen it on TV or anything, or in the news. Well, it has actually been around for many, many years. I myself have been involved for 55 years and come through the racing, went into marshalling, chief marshal, race director. And now for the last, probably 20 years now, I've been doing commentary. So at some point, I'll have to retire. So going to have to find a commentator at some point, but hopefully that's a long way off yet. Sounds as if we might be starting this race fairly shortly now. Unfortunately, just the 2 craft on the grid. The craft in the lower formulas like to try and pick off the ones in the formulas above them. don't think we got any Formula 1s out there this time, so it's all about the Formula 2s, Formula 3s and the Formula 50s. Here we go, run the lights. And they're away. Oh, Jamie Lewington in 53 gets off to a great start. He tucks into first place, and Cy Francis drops into second. Oh, is that Aaron Sutton in third, 52. Oh, Abby, sorry, not Abby. No, it is Aaron Sutton. God, they're trying to confuse me. I've got Abby sitting next to me here. They do run as a team. So as they cross the line, it's the Formula 2, 53, Jamie Lewington, another Formula 2, Cy Francis, 82. And all coming through the chicane, it's all getting very tight. And Dave Palfrey comes through in third, and then side by side it's 55, 52, 110. So that all got very busy as they came through the chicane section. And Aaron Sutton drops from third, I think, to fifth, sixth. So a great start, but he's dropping back down the field in that Formula 2 craft. Well, you may notice the two front runners have got the same colour scheme, so they are part of the same team. It's Raptor Racing. Third is now Katrina Palfrey, 61, then Sue Oakley, 55, then 110, Jake Trussler. And we've lost Aaron Sutton, number 52. I think, do I see her thrust duct? No, I don't. Yeah, there's a wave yellow for somebody behind the island there. That may well be Aaron Sutton. So coming through in third, but a long way back from the two front runners, is Sue Oakley, number 55. Fourth is now the Formula 50 craft, Jake Truster, 110, then 61, Katrina Palfrey, Formula 2, then the Formula 3, 144, Richard Pound, then the Formula 50, number 50, Richard Worthington, then 72, Kian Olner in the Formula 50. Aaron Sutton is back on track, and he comes, he's just coming through in front of the two front runners, and he moves to one side and let them through, but Aaron Sutton, the hand's gone up, so Aaron Sutton returns back to the paddock. Right, here come the two front runners. Going to be running into traffic very shortly. That is now 5 laps completed. We lost at the moment, number 61, Katrina Palfrey. I think that may be behind the island. So our two front runners getting into the back markers there. Cy Francis, number 82, has lost a little bit of the ground, but now Jamie is getting caught up with the back markers as he goes round the island, and there is two in front of him as they come up onto the land. So Cy Francis, 82, is probably going to close that gap down. Oh, Jamie Lewin really getting caught up with the back markers now, and Cy Francis 82 has closed that gap right down, but Jamie Lewin comes through with 1 lap to go now. 82 Cy Francis is in second, but they're caught up in amongst those back markers. Number 50 Richard Worthington and 144 Richard Pound. Oh, Jamie having to hold station as they go around the back of the island. Katrina Palfrey is finally reappeared in number 61, but she's not on full cushion yet, but she is running. Oh, here we go, the run to the line, 53, Jamie Lewinen's got through and opened up that gap, and he takes the win in that Formula 2 craft. Cy Francis in second, getting caught there by the traffic, but he does come through in a comfortable second. So we're still waiting for third. That should be Sue Oakley, number 55. She's coming into the chicane section now. So Sue, involved in a nasty accident yesterday. They've rebuilt the craft overnight. So Sue, very happy to come through in third there. Number 55 in that Formula 2. And just behind a Formula 50, Jake Truston, number 110. Right, so I've just had an update on the timings. We are sticking to programme. So our next race will be at 2:20, and we'll be getting the craft onto the grid at 10 past. So any members of the public that do wish to come into the paddock area and have a look around, you've got until 2:05. So what does that leave us? About 40 minutes maximum. So if you walk around the lake anti-clockwise, walk towards where you can see the paddock, there's a gate there that'll be opened up, and come through and have a look at the craft up close. Just a few reminders, they are have been running, so there will be hot exhausts all around the craft. So if you've got any young children with you, please make sure they don't touch them. And if you are a smoker, can I ask you to please refrain from smoking, and that includes e-cigarettes as well. Right, so we'll be getting a bit of craft movement. We got some craft coming out onto the grid for a photo opportunity. There are world champions from the recent World Championships in Sweden, and that photo will be going in our e-magazine. And there'll be another craft coming out, a green one, completely different format to what you've been watching. This is world's first fully electric hovercraft that's got to this stage of development, and that is actually being driven by my brother. So it's very much in the development stage. I'm sure in years to come it will become the norm. So yeah, the moment still very much in development. So don't forget, if you do want to get drinks or food, instead of coming round to the paddock, you can go the other way around, and you'll find a big gazebo with a smaller one next to it, and they're doing hot food and drinks. Hot drinks and food. Get it right way around. But obviously, if you want to come out into the paddock and have a look around, then go to the food, then just carry on through the paddock, come out the other end, down the little road there behind the trees, and that'll bring you to the food wagon. Then you can just carry on around and do a complete loop back to the spectator area. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the time is now 5 past. So 2:05. We are closing the paddock off in the next few minutes. So any members of the public that have come into the paddock to have a look around, can you please start making your way back to the viewing area? Now, there's 2 ways back. If you want to go straight back to the viewing area, then obviously back the way you came. If you want to take in the opportunity of getting hot drinks or food, then if you come out of the paddock and go in the opposite direction, so along this gravel road, you'll hit a lane there at the end and turn left. That will take you down the hill and you'll see a big marquee there. Just the other side of it is a snack, hot drinks and food there. And then you can just carry on walking around the bottom of the lake to get back to the spectator viewing area. Right, here we go. We're just under the 2 minutes now. Right, there we go. 1 minute. 1 minute now. And we're away. Jake Truster, 110. Oh, 50 Richard Worthington was the meat in the sandwich there between 81 and 110. Who's going to come out first? I think it was 110. No, it is 81, then 101, 50, and Jake Truster swings wide and he's back in, but in full spot. Oh, Bronny Black's nosed into the island. And she's going to have trouble now trying to get out. These craft don't have a reverse gear. So Bronny Black nosed into the bank there. Looks as though she's going to try and get out. But she's a long way back now. Yeah, she's made it back out of the island. But a long way back now. So 81, 101, 50, 110. That's the first 4. Then it's 91, Nathan Collins. 72, Kian Olner. Then 106, John Scriven. Then 54, Oliver Colgill. And then finally, having got out the bushes there, nose into the island, it's 111, Bronny Black. Well, leader now starting to ease away very slightly now from second spot, Adam Turnbull. Adam's still got 50. Richard Worthington still very much in touch. Dropping back very slightly, 110. Jake Trussler. And with the battle coming through, 91 Nathan Collins and 72 Kian Olner. And Kian, oh, he's got through on the inside. Nathan just leaving the door open a little bit, and Kian has got through in that number 72 craft. Well, as our leader comes into the chicane section, number 81, Nick Drew, comes through the line. That is now 4 laps completed. So midpoint of the race, still within striking distance, 101, Adam Turnbull, and 50, Richard Worthington. And just, well, he's still there, 110, Jake Trussler. He's popped a segment on that right-hand side. Shouldn't be a big problem. Well, I can see a wave yellow flag for somebody behind the island, but I can't quite work out who that is at the moment. So Bronny Black, 111, being lapped by the front runners. Nick Drew comes through, and 101 Adam Turnbull is closing that gap down. So the back markers could be coming into play now. Richard Worthington dropped back off the pace in third, but in a fairly comfortable third. Jake Trussler, 110, just going through in fourth. Right, into the chicane section. Oh, change of places. They came into it at the moment. 101, Adam Turnbull saw opening with the back markers there. And Nick Drew drops to second place in number 81. So the back markers there playing a part in the change for the lead of this race. Now, can Nick Drew fight back? They still got back markers in front. It's still 101, then 81, then 50. Richard Worthington, well, a bit back now. And then 4 spots, just dropping onto the water. 101, Jake Truster. 106, oh, John Scriven coming back with a whole load of segments missing on that left-hand side. Oh, Nick Drew's made it back into the lead. So that's happened out of my view. So Nick Drew, 81, goes through and takes the win. Well, all happening on that last lap there, but Nick Drew finally fighting back with half a lap to go and retakes the lead and the winner of the race. 101, Adam Turnbull takes second. Third goes to 50, Richard Worthington. And finally coming through in 4th spot, Jake Russell, number 110. Just crossing the line in 5th spot, 72, Kian Olner. 6th goes to 91, Nathan Collins. 7th goes to 111, Bronny Black. 8th goes to 106, John Scriven. And 9th, 54, Oliver Cowgill. Well, next up onto the grid, we should have 2 combined formulas. I'm not sure whether we're going to see that. Both the formulas are a bit thin on the ground towards the end of the season. For some reason, there's quite a few Formula 3s missing. So we just got 2 out there. That's going to be 168, Dan Turnbull, and 144, Richard Pound. So Formula 3, up to 250cc 2-stroke, 500cc 4-stroke. 2 strokes on the grid for this race, no 4 strokes at the moment, although during the season there have been 4 strokes out there. And they drive through a single fan that provides both lift and thrust. You can actually split that between that power over 2 fans. That went through a very popular phase a few years ago, but the popular combination now is 1 engine, 1 fan. The Formula 35 that we had out yesterday, I'm not sure whether she's going to go out. She did enough races to pick up the points. Sadly, only one F35 there this weekend. So the Formula 35s, they run industrial 4-stroke engines, air-cooled, and they are only allowed to use a maximum of 35 horsepower. But that is total of all the engines on board. Now, that generally gets split over 2 engines. You can do it with one single engine, but it's generally run with twin engines. So you're looking at about 5 horsepower for lift and then the rest for thrust. Type of engine typically used for that is the Briggs & Stratton. Yeah, the sort of thing you'd see on a lawnmower or an agricultural type vehicle. So completely different format for that formula. It's all about lower noise levels. So the thrust fan is rotating at a much lower RPM, and there is a limit for that. And originally it was this formula was designed as a crossbreed, so you could go cruising as well as racing. So don't forget, if you go away from today, you want more information, the place to go to is at www.hovercraft.org.uk, and you'll find our race calendar on there. That hasn't been decided for next year yet. This is our last one of the season, but you can find out more about the club as a whole, because we've been going now for many, many years. If you're thinking, oh, I've never heard of this or seen it before, we've actually been going for many, many years. I myself have been involved in this for 55 years. And yeah, my legs are telling me that now as I try and sit down. So we've been around a long time, and it's one of those sports that's never taken off big time. So yeah, in many ways that's it can be looked at different ways. But the good thing is that it's still a very low cost sport if you come in, choose your level right, and there's no big money involved, and so you can come in and have some great racing without worrying about big sponsors. Of course, if you do want to get involved without actually racing a craft, you think, oh, I'd like to get involved in this, but not racing, then there's many opportunities for that. Our team of marshals that you see dotted around, right, I've just interrupted briefly, we're on the 2-minute ball now. So the marshalling team, these are all members of the main club that have descended on this weekend to run the event. If you fancy getting involved in that sort of things, then we're always looking for volunteers. The orange gear that you see the marshals wearing, that's all supplied by the club, both hot weather and cold weather, or wet weather, should we say. And the radios that the majority of the marshals are using, they again are all supplied by the club. Of course, there's other opportunities as well. The branch that has actually organised this event is the Chilterns branch. So we're sort of based loosely around the Aylesbury area, but that is loosely. You probably take a 50-mile radius around that. And so we've been going for many, many years. But there are race meetings up and down the country, and they're organised by the various branches. So you can always come in at that level and just be part of the team and group that actually organises the event. So we're coming up to the lights very shortly now. Well, they're away, just the 2 craft. Richard Pound gets off first, 144, but I suspect Dan Turnbull will just wait his moment to take the lead in that number 168 craft. After this race, you'll be seeing the Formula 2s out there. We'll be picking up the pace quite a bit then, and a lot more craft on track. Oh, Richard Pound holding on to that first place. Trying to make it difficult for Dan Turnbull to get through, but I'm sure Dan will make a move at some point. For those of you that may have seen the racing before from years ago, you'll recognise the name of Dan Turnbull. He would have been associated then with F1. So he decided to drop out of that and come down to the lower powered craft, lower formulas as it were, because his son and daughter were coming up, and so he runs as teams with them. Laura's not actually racing this weekend. I think she might be involved in the... oh, yeah, there she is. She's on the grid, so she's part of the marshalling team. But Adam, Dan's son, will be... he's already been out in the Formula 50 race. And... I was going to say that there is another Turnbull in race control, and that's Nicky Turnbull. So husband and wife, one doing race control and the other one out there racing now. Stop. Oh, no. Oh. Well, there we go. Dan's made a move. So I can see him opening up that gap now with 5 laps gone. So 6 laps gone now, and Dan Turnbull opening up that lead now. So 2 laps to go. Well, I'll start the preamble for the next Formula. They're already starting to form up on the grid. So we're looking at Formula 2 now. So we're picking up the pace. We're looking at 600cc 2-stroke, 750cc 4-stroke. And we do have a 4-stroke out there, and that is the pole sitter for this race. So there we go, last lap board is now out. Dan Turnbull, 168 with a fairly comfortable lead now. Richard Pound in second. So the checker flag goes down. Easy win in the end for Dan Turnbull, 168. And Richard Pound in 144 comes through in second. So I'm going to do a grid walk now and see who we've got. So as I said, the Formula 2 is up to 600cc two-stroke. The majority of the field are two-stroke. And then the four strokes you can run up to 750cc. Pole setter for this race, number 89, Peter Simons-Thompson. He is running a big four-stroke that is driving a thrust fan and lift fan. Second spot, Cy Francis, number 82. Third spot, Simon Oakley, and number 55. I'm going to go and have a word with him because they had a big crash in that craft yesterday in the open race, and there was a lot of damage done, and I really wasn't expecting it to come out onto the grid today, but they managed to get it sorted. And speaking to Simon this morning, he said, oh yeah, he said, I'm just going to go out there and pick up some points. Lo and behold, he went out in the race earlier and suddenly he's fighting for the top positions. So did that game plan go out of the window? Sorry. When the helmet went on, the plan went out the window for the first race. Yeah, he admits that now. A lot of drivers say that. Oh yeah, just going to go out there and make up the numbers and hold back. Then suddenly the helmet goes on and that plan goes out the window. So, completing the front row in fourth spot, 66 Phil Tussell. Second row, we've got 31 Adam Turnbull. Alongside that is 61 Dave Palfrey. And then on row 3, we've got number 52 Aaron Sutton. So 7 craft on the grid. I think we've lost a few of the Formula 2s this weekend. Right, we're just about to go on the 2-minute board. There we go. 2 minutes away from the start now. Well, 1 minute board's just gone up. Coming up to the lights very shortly now. And they're on the lights. Hammer away. And it's the big four-stroke that's away first, then 82, 66, 55, 31, 61, 52. The grid is cleared. So Peter Simon Thompson flicks the rear end up as he comes into the chicane section. He's got the race under control at the moment. Cy Francis coming through in second. Third is Phil Tatchell, 66. Then Simon Oakley, 55. 31, Adam Turnbull. Then 61, Dave Palfrey. 52, Aaron Sutton picking up the rear. So here we go. 89. Peter Simon Thompson opening up that lead now. Cy Francis, 82, pulling away from Phil Tassel, 66 in third. But right behind him is Simon Oakley, 55. And then Adam Turnbull, 31. Then Dave Palfrey, 61. And then Aaron Sutton again, 52. Oh, Aaron Sutton has his thrust engine just died as he went through the chicane, but avoided by our leader, 89. So Aaron Sutton being pulled, he's pulling the craft to one side by the chicane there, so no damage done to the actual race. Cy Francis, 82, still in a reasonable, comfortable second. Third is Phil Tassel, 66, just gone past you now. And then Simon Oakley, 55. Then 31, just dropping onto the water there, Adam Turnbull. So as our leader comes into the chicane section, he's just about lap 61, Dave Palfrey, and as he comes through the line, that is now 6 laps completed. 6 laps completed, 2 to go. Well, as Adam Turnbull goes through, he's looking at the rear end of his car, so I'm not sure whether he's suspicious of something going on there. But as our leader goes through the line, 89, Peter Simon Thompson takes the last lap board, so 1 lap to go. Second through the line at the moment, 82, Cy Francis. And then third through the line at the moment is 66, Phil Tattersall. And coming through at the moment in fourth is Simon Oakley, number 55. It doesn't sound as if Simon's pushing that craft hard now. So just settling for that position. Here we go, the final win of the weekend for the Formula 2s. Number 89, Peter Symes-Thompson, a clean sweep with that big four-stroke. Cy Francis comes through in second spot, 82. And third spot goes to Phil Tattersall, 66. And fourth goes to 55, Simon Oakley. And fifth goes to 31, Adam Turnbull. Sixth goes to 61, Dave Palfrey. And seventh goes to 52, Aaron Sutton, who sadly is coming back on the trailer. Well, as our F2's return to the paddock, we're now going on to the juniors. So juniors aged 13 to 16 years of age. They are restricted in what they can run. As a general guide, it's the Formula 3, Formula 50 and Formula 35 spec craft. And right, let's see if I can start running through the grid now. So in pole position is Josh Morales, number 43. Alongside is another Josh, but Josh Trussler. So if I get them mixed up, don't be surprised. Too many Joshes in this race. Must have been a popular name at that time period. So 48, Josh Trussler in second. Third is Ollie Brand. And then completing the front row, number 95, Charlie Clark. Row 2, we got 10, Serena Hackett. And then 45, Charlie Moore. And completing row 2, we got 53, Oscar Lewington. And we're about to go on the 2-minute board, so I'm going to get back to my position now. So 8 laps. So we're dropping the pace down now, but not necessarily the excitement. So 2 minutes away from the start now. And that's now the 1 minute board. 1 minute board has just gone up. Here we go, we're now on the lights. And we're away. Well, side by side. Oh, Ollie Brand, 155, gets off first. Followed by 43, Josh Morales, then Josh Trussler, 48. Then, oh, Nip and Tuck is fourth. I think Charlie Clark got up in the air then, spun round, so he's back on track, but he's now in last place. So here we go. Into the chicane section. It's still Ollie Brown, 155, being chased by 43. Josh Morales in 43 there. Then third is 48, Josh Trussler. He's pulled away from Oscar Lewington in 53. Then it's Charlie Moore, 45. Then 95, Charlie Clark. And, oh no, coming through, Serena Hackett with the hand up. So number 10, Serena Hackett, looks like she's returning to the paddock. I'm not sure why. Well, Ollie Brand, 155, still holding off Josh Morales, number 43. Dropping back now in third spot, with a comfortable third is Josh Trussler, number 48. He's just dropping onto the water now. Then we got 53, Oscar Lewington. Charlie Moore, 45. Oh, Charlie's lost 2 segments down that left-hand side. Shouldn't be a major problem, but it will have an impact on his pace. And then we got Charlie Clark, 95. Right, looks like Oscar Lewington's stopped on the water. Yeah, I can see him. The engine's still running, but moving very, very slowly, so he's under power. And another one returning back to the paddock. Number 95, Charlie Clark. Retires from the race by the looks of it. Well, out of my view, Josh Morales, number 43, has taken the lead in this race. I suspected he would, but it was just a case of waiting for the right moment. So Ollie Brand drops to second. In at number 155, he's just dropped onto the water, but he is in a comfortable second. Third has only just crossed the line, and that is Josh Trussler, 48. And he is in a comfortable third. So, who's going to come through now in fourth? Yes, Charlie Moore's 45 in fourth. Oh, well, having spoken about Charlie Moore, he's dropped onto the water and the engine has stopped. So Charlie Moore is currently out the race, just after the drop onto the water. And now I'm not sure whether Charlie's going to get that fired up. Looks like he's going to try. Well, he's pulling on the engine, so... So our leader's gone through. Josh Morales, 6 laps completed now. Ollie Brand goes through in second, 155. We're getting the field is getting rather depleted. And Josh Trossler, 48, coming through in third. And we do seem to be now down to 3 craft. Oh, Charlie Moore's got the engine up and running again. There we go. Charlie's up and running again. So the last lap board has gone out. Our leader going round the back of the island there, Josh Morales, number 43, with half a lap to go now. So through the chicane for the last time. The winner of the race is number 43, Josh Morales. Coming through in second spot, 155, Ollie Brand. And just coming through the chicane now. Coming through in third spot, 48, Josh Trossler. Right, I'll run through the rest of the positions now. So after third, we got fourth, 45, Charlie Moore. Fifth, 95, Charlie Clark. Right, we're now going to pick up the pace dramatically. We're now going into the F1s. So forget your CC on this one. It's all about horsepower. So basically, Formula One is unlimited capacity, anything goes. You're looking at a thrust engine that will produce somewhere in the order of 180 to 220 horsepower, and then a lift engine as well. The acceleration from 0 to 60, well, they'll outpace most standard road cars off the line. Pole sitter for this race, Callum Beale. So number 1 in the 1 spot. Second spot is 4, Simon Larman. Third, I'm still waiting for. Just get a check on who that is. But completing the front row in 4th spot is Mike King, number 8. So we're waiting for 12, and that should be Kevin Eastwood. And second row should be Damien Rhodes, 22, and 11. Oh, I'm just being pointed. Doesn't look as though any of those will be coming out onto the grid. So 22 is not coming out. And 12 isn't coming out. unfortunately. So 3 craft on the grid for this race. So these F1s, given the right track, they will top out at around about 80 mile an hour. I believe on this track they're getting up to around about 60, maybe 65. Right, we are now going on to the 2-minute board. So 2 minutes away from the start now. So Damien Rose having to sit this one out. Blew his engine up in the second race yesterday. Went out in the first one today, but sadly he's not going to make it onto the grid this time. He is the current Formula One world champion, crowned just recently in Sweden. And we're now 1 minute away from the start. 1 minute. Here we go, we're on the lights and we're away. And number 1, Callum Beale, that's off first, followed by 4, Simon Larman, then 8, Mike King, dropping into third there. So they've cleared the grid. We've lost quite a few craft from this Formula One grid from the start of the weekend, sadly. Oh, Callum Beale going round the island there, flicked the back end right up in the air. Well, the wind, I think, just catching these drivers out a little bit. The amount of horsepower they've got. Simon Larman coming into that chicane section there, got, or just before it, got the rear end up in the air. Well, Callum Beale, oh, again, he's got that rear end up as he went round the island. I'm not sure whether you can see that where you are in the spectator area, but as he came round that island to come up onto the land, the rear end went right up in the air. Well, he should be well in control of this race now to ease off just a little bit. Well, that is now 5 laps completed, so 3 laps to go for our leader. And I'm wondering now whether he's going to try and lap both the other crafts. He's certainly going to be getting close to Mike King, who's in 3rd place. I think coming through in 2nd, Simon Lama, number 4, is going to be too much of a stretch. So 6 laps to go. 6 laps gone. 2 laps to go now. Yeah, Callum has now got Mike King in his sights as they go round behind the island. So as they come into the chicane section, the last lap board is now waiting for our leader, Callum Beale. There we go, 1 lap to go now. That's a case of whether he holds station behind Mike King or makes a sprint past him. Yeah, he's made a sprint past him, so he laps Mike King. So a dominant win there by Callum Beale, number 1. 2nd will go to Simon Lama, number 4. And 3rd goes to number 8, Mike King. Right, let's take a grid walk through. We've now got the Colts up on the grid. So the Colts aged 10 to 13. They are restricting what they can run engine-wise, but ultimately it's the amount of thrust they can produce. So it's no good getting an engine then trying to tune it up to the hilt, because you're only allowed to produce a certain amount of thrust. So in this category, it's very much a single engine, single fan. Well, in pole position, Lily Elston, number 44. 2nd spot, Nathan Ash, 147. And 55, Ben Lambert, but not in his own craft. He's borrowed a craft to get out there. And then completing the front row, number 9, Kerris Rhodes. 2nd row, Nancy Devlin in number 67. Alongside that is number 30, and that's my 3. We got 153, and 5 is Harley Ullman. So the Colts will only be doing 6 laps, so they're the only group that do less than 8, and they provide sometimes the best racing and tightest. So I'm going to apologise now if the noise around me gets rather loud, because I get parents that get all excited and they're stood behind me when I'm doing that. Not saying anything, but Lily's mum, well, she's on a different level. Right, we're coming up to the 2-minute board now. Final race for the Colts. There we go. The whistle has gone. Actually, talking about the amount of thrust that can be produced rather than the power of the engine, Lily Elston, our pole sitter, does have a restrictor plate in front of the fan, and that puts a check on the airflow going into the fan and limits the amount of thrust coming out of the back. So she is looking down. I think she's the only one that's got that obvious sign of a restrictor. So as she goes past, if you look at her craft, there's a like a half moon. No, not quite a half moon. If it's sort of half circle in front of the fan. We're 1 minute away from the start now.
Semicircle.
Yes, somebody just pointed out it's a semicircle. Thank you, crowd behind me, for those cheers and clapping. And I don't think that was, probably a derogatory thing, but there we go. I'm getting old. Right, we're coming up to the lights very shortly now. There we go, we're on the lights. And we're away. Oh, Lily not getting off to a good start, and it's 9. Kerris Rhodes that goes off in the lead. Then Nathan Ashford, 147. Then Lily squeezing through, number 44. And is she going to go into the lead as they drop onto the water? She is going for it. And she's first. Yep, she's first. Then Kerris Rhodes, number 9. Then 147, Nathan Ash. Then 67, Nancy Devlin. Well, that's to pick them up now as they come through again. So into the chicane and through the line first is going to be number 44, Lily Elston. Followed by Kerris Rhodes, number 9. Then 147, Nathan Ash. Then 67, Nancy Devlin. Then 55, Ben Lambert. Ben having to borrow a craft, his own one, not able to get out in this race. And then just coming through is 153, Emily Lewandon. She's just coming across the line now. And coming through the chicane, number 30, Maya Barlow. And the front runners are going to be just behind as she crosses the line. There we go. Lily Olsen, 44. 9, Kerris Rhodes. 147, Nathan Ash. Well, Lily is still holding to lead in number 44. We're now midpoint in the race. 3 laps gone, but just behind is Keris Rhodes, waiting for Lily to make a mistake. And dropping back very slightly now is 147 Nathan Ash. But he's in a solid third. Then we go back to Nancy Devlin, 67, who's just coming into the chicane section now. Wow. Lily has pulled away on that last lap and really opened up the gap to 9 Keris Rhodes. So Lily Elson goes through, 4 laps completed now. Number 44. Keris Rhodes goes through number 9 in second. Then Nathan Ash 147 in third. Crossing the line at the moment is Nancy Devlin, number 67. She is in fourth and a comfortable fourth. So the last lap board is now ready for our leader. It's still Lily Elson, number 44. There we go, 1 lap to go now. Keris Rhodes in second. 147 Nathan Ash in third. So Lily Elson has got Emily Lundon in front of her just as she goes into the chicane, but Lily has gone through. A bit out of shape, but she is going to take the checkered flag. Lily Elson, 44, takes the win. Keris Rhodes, number 9, takes second. And third goes to Nathan Ash, number 147. Well, still waiting for fourth to come through. And that should be Nancy Devlin, I think. Yep, Nancy Devlin, 67, comes through in fourth. Just coming across the line now. Fifth, well, he's just gone through the line, but fifth will be Ben Lambert. He's a lap down. Sixth goes to 153, Emily Lewandon. 7th goes to 30, Maya Barlow. 8th goes to 75, and that is Harley Ullman. And that's it. Right, as these craft peel back into the paddock, we have now got the novices coming up. So 2 races to go. We got the novice race forming up on the grid. Unfortunately, we've only got 2 craft out there. And then we've got the open race to finish off. So our novices are allowed to use any of the main Formula craft, even the Formula Ones, but there is a restriction on the amount of thrust they can produce in Formula One. The craft generally that are used in this category tends to be the Formula 50 or Formula 3. That's the most popular option, but obviously you can use Formula 2 as well and 1. They have to do 15 races before they can qualify up. Now, we've obviously lost a lot of the novices during this season due to the fact that they've qualified up. So this is our final day of the season. So those 2 on the grid will roll forward to next year, the races they've done up to so far. But along with the 15 races, they have to do some marshalling duties as well. And they have to do 10 of those. That helps us on the marshalling side, but also it does put them out on the track to give them a different viewpoint of the racing lines, which is a real benefit, because sometimes with novices, they sometimes have their head buried in an engine for a lot of the weekend and tend to miss out on the close action and watching others with their racing lines. So, that's the 2-minute board. So we've just gone on to the 2-minute board now for this final race for the novices. Well, here we go. The 2 craft away and gone. 8 laps. If it's true to form, then 78 should romp away. So Rob Walker in 78, and then 107 Mike Chiverton. Just a bit of background history with both of those. Rob Walker, the leader, is more associated with the cruising side and heavily involved in that up in the Liverpool area. His wife has been racing all season in that same craft that he's using now. She came out of novices, and then Rob got convinced to getting it at the last race meeting on the Saturday night. on the Saturday night, he was convinced. There may have been a bar and drinks involved, but he went out on the Sunday and, is now enjoying the racing side as well now. So that's Robin number 78. 107, Mike Chiverton got involved in the marshalling side first. We ran an event or race meeting down at Fawley. We've been down there for 30 plus years. And Mike came along. He had a particular skill set, which was to do with boat rescue. So we got involved in that side of things. And now he's taken on the racing part. Well, so Mike Chiverton. Now, okay, let's explain what's happening with Mike now. 107. You can see a lot of spray coming up. It's not moving very fast. Now, what hovercraft have is this thing called hump. And basically, Mike is what we call sub-hump at the moment. And that means he's making a depression in the water. And what's happened is he's filled up the rear skirt segments with water and they're not clearing the water out. So it's acting like a huge anchor at the back. So if he can get that back end drained, which usually involves leaning over the front of the craft to get the front end down and release that water in the back, then he will go through a manoeuvre which is called going over hump. And then you get out of that hole in the water and then back on top of the water again and skimming as they should do. So back when I started, getting over hump from a standing start was a major achievement. But we're going back 55 years. Nowadays, you don't even think about it, you just do it. But Mike's got that back end scooping water, and he just that's one of those skills you learn as you go along, and he needs to get that back end up to clear and drain that water out of the back segments. So he'll make it to land, and I suspect the marshals will have to pull him up. As soon as he gets onto the land section, of course, that water will then drain out of the back of the skirt segments, and he'll be away again. So meanwhile, that's 4 laps completed. We're now midpoint in the race. Our next race, the open race, is already starting to form up on the grid. So this open race is going to be open to all the main formulas, apart from the Novice, Junior and Colts. This is where you'll find, as I'm going through the race numbers, you'll find that there's a different driver on board. This is where you can share the racing. So if you've got somebody you want to share the cost with, a friend, then that's a good way of coming in and sharing the costs. Quite often the team member is quite often a family member, so it could be husband, wife, father, daughter, you name it. It could be any of those combinations. So as I go through the grid a bit later, I'll point those ones out. Well, Mike Chiverton eventually out of the lake, coming up the hill now. So Rob Walker going around the back of the island there. He's got a lap and a half now to go. So next time through, the last lap board will be waiting for him. So there we go. 1 lap to go now for Rob Walker. Well, there's a possibility he might even be able to get past Mike and put him a lap down. Oh, doesn't look as though Mike... Oh, he's got onto the water and pulling away again. I thought he got stuck there for a moment. And up the hill into the chicane section for the last time before the checkered flag. He's lapped 107 Mike Jefferson. So Rob Walker taking an easy win there, number 78. Mike Jefferson goes through in 107 to take second. Right, I'm going to go and do a grid walk in just a moment. So just reiterate, this is open to all the main formulas, apart from the novice, Colts and juniors. So I'm just going to do a grid walk now and see who we've got. Well, we've got a couple of Formula 2s in first and second. Pole sitter for this race is Cy Francis in number 82. Alongside him from the same racing stable is 53, Jamie Lewington. Still waiting for third come out, but completing the front row. This is where it starts to change with drivers. 61, this time it's Katrina Palfrey, so daughter of Dave. They've been running as a team for quite a few years now. Second row, we have got a Formula 3, 144, Richard Pound. So the front row at the moment is all Formula 2s. Alongside 144 is Kian Olner in Formula 50, number 72. And then we come to number 55. Again, to change of driver. It's not Simon Oakley this time, it's his wife, Sue Oakley. So Sue taking it out this time. And then on row 3, we've got Jake Trussler in a Formula 50. And then we've got number 50, again in Formula 50, Richard Worthington. And then right at the very back, we got number 52, Abby Beale in a Formula 2. Right, I'm going to retreat off the grid now. The 2-minute board has gone. Right, they've been shown the 1-minute board. Now, I believe, due to the brightness of the sun and the location of it, the drivers are having trouble now seeing the traffic lights. So this race will start on the flag. So no lights this time. It will be starting on the flag. Here we go, the flag is up and it drops. And side by side is 53.82, but it is 53 that goes into the lead, followed by 82. So, sneaking in the back there, I missed it, is number 1, that would be Conrad Beale. Not his son this time, so it's Dad's out there, a former UK, European and World Champion in this formula. So, up the hill, into chicane first. It's 53, Jamie Lewington in that Formula 2. And already up into the second spot is the Formula 1, Conrad Beale. Third spot is 82, Cy Francis in the Formula 2. Another Formula 2, 55, Sue Oakley. Then 50, Richard Worthington, 144, Richard Pound, 110, Jake Truster, Katrina Palfrey, 61, 72, Kean Olner, and 52, Abby Beale. So we've got 4 father and daughter racing out there. Dad's right up at the front, and daughter's right at the back there. So Conrad Beale goes through. Now in the lead, he'll be pulling away from the rest of the field. 53, Jamie Lewington still in second spot. Third spot still Cy Francis, 82. So we've got our Formula 1 leading. The first 3 craft after that in second, third and fourth are Formula 2s. Then a Formula 50. Number 50 just dropping onto the water, Richard Worthington. Then we've got a Formula 3, 144, Richard Pound, then Jake Trussler, 110 in a Formula 50, then Katrina Palfrey, 61 in a Formula 2, then Kean Olner, 72 in the Formula 50. Oh, and we've lost Abby Beale. Just by the chicane there, Abby Beale has stopped on the side of the track, so Abby Beale out of the race in number 52. So our leader already midpoint in the race, he's trying to pick off as many crafts as he can to put them a lap down, but meanwhile the battle is still on for that second spot. It's being led by 53, Jamie Lewington. Being chased by his stablemate, 82, Cy Francis. Then we got Sue Oakley, 55, and then Richard Worthington, 50. So as Conrad Beale goes through the line, the number 1 craft, that is now 6 laps completed. So the last lap board is now up and going out for our leader. Number one, Conrad Bill goes through. 1 lap to go now. 1 lap. Conrad Bill easing off. He's dropping in behind number 50, Richard Worthington. Is ahead of the field by a country mile, so there's no need to push it now. Meanwhile, the battle for second is still on. 53, 82 coming through the chicane section. They got caught up with the back markers because that could all change. 61 and 144 are getting caught up in this battle for second and third. They've got past Katrina there in number 61. Richard Pound, number 144. The Formula 3 is now going to get caught up in this battle. As they go round the back of the island. And is Richard going to let them through? It doesn't look like... Oh, yes, I think he might have done. They've gone out of view now. So Conrad Bill goes through to take the win. I'm focusing on second and third now. And it is 53, Jamie Lewington, that's held on to that second spot. As he comes through the chicane, through the line, Jamie Lewington, 53, takes the win. 82, Cy Francis, coming across the line now, takes third. Right, I'll just... they're coming through now. Fourth is 55, just crossing the line. Sue Oakley, she'll be happy with that. Having been involved in a nasty accident yesterday. So fifth went to number 50, Richard Worthington. Sixth went to 110, Jake Truster. Seventh went to 144, Richard Pound. Eighth went to 61, Katrina Palfrey. Ninth went to 72, Kian Olner. That is our final race of not only this weekend, but of the race season. So for those of the spectators that have come and watched here this weekend, if you've been here for both days, great. I hope you've enjoyed it. We will hopefully be back again next year. The calendar's yet to be decided. This year we were back here. We were here 2 times this year, so we're hoping to do the same again next year. The race calendar will appear at some point. Probably after Christmas, and the place to find that is at www.hovercraft.org.uk, and of course the usual thing with Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. The handle for all 3 of those is at official HCGB. So this is me, Barry Oakley. I am going to sign off from the spectator point of view now. We've now got a bit of a rush now to get everything taken down. I know it's only 4 o'clock, but the light gets dark very quickly now. So we've got to get all this disassembled before we can have our prize giving. If you want to come along to that, you're more than welcome. It's down by the marquee where the food stall is. And we'll be holding that a bit later. And we'll be handing out the trophies for this weekend, but we'll also be doing the junior trophies for the season and the Colts for the season as well. So quite a lot of trophies to hand out. So it just remains for me to say, have a safe journey home. Thank you very much for coming. Right, everybody, we've finished it nicely on time. It's just coming up to 4 o'clock. Don't be fooled with the fact we got lots of light. We've got to get all this lot down and packed away, especially before it gets dark. And obviously we've got a big prize giving to take place. We've got the Juniors Colts season, plus all the normal stuff. So many hands make light work. So if everybody can pitch in, please, and start stripping everything apart, sooner we can get away and get home. Thank you very much.